Hey everybody, how you doing? If you had a week anything like mine, it probably felt 15 years long and was filled with emotions across the spectrum. For me, personally, there has been this churn of emotions. I'm looking at what is happening in our nation. I'm looking at the protests, the anti-racism protests, the Black Lives Matter rallies, the memorials for George Floyd, the voices that are being lifted up, the action that is being taken, the new voices that are in a fight, the education that is being done, and how incredibly overdue it all is. And those things living next to each other are big. And it's hard to know how to let the inspiration and the hope live next to the frustration and embarrassment and anger that we are doing this now and not earlier. And a dear friend of mine, when I was talking to him about this mix of emotions, he said, he shared with me a proverb. He said, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. So I'm hanging on to that, and Bats as a piece of this society, as an organization with a platform, with a community, with an opportunity to make really intentional change in a way that we haven't yet. We're gonna start today. So again, stay tuned for what our plan is, and we'll let you know once we have thoughtfully developed that. And we're doing that now. This weekend, we are doing shows called The Bechdel Test. There's a couple of exciting things happening this weekend. The Bechdel Test is a show that borrows its name from a set of criteria coined by Alison Bechdel. She's an American cartoonist. She had a comic strip in the 1980s called Dykes to Watch Out For. And she depicted herself and a friend talking about what movie to go see. And her friend said, I will only go see a movie if there is at least one scene where two women talk to each other about something other than a man. And that became known as the Bechdel Test. This show borrows its name from that because it centers stories on women, multi-dimensional, multifaceted women. So they are not simplified and sort of reduced to a single function or accessory in a story. They show up center stage. Now, we at Bats are incredibly aware that we don't have the widest representation of women in our company, certainly on a racial and ethnic front. We're doing the show, and we're going to use it as an opportunity to raise awareness for a really special foundation called the Rowland Foundation, founded by Rachel Cargill. Raises money for therapy, a therapy fund for Black women and girls. And we hope you will find it. Look for Rachel Cargill, listen to her. She's a really powerful voice in the anti-racist space, and donate some money in that direction. We're also going to use it to elevate some voices of artists of color in our community, to use our platform for good in that way. We hope you'll join us. On Saturday, there's also an exciting thing happening, which is we have an opening act. On Saturday at 7 p.m., a group of students who met at Bats, continued playing together, studied under Casey Clem for a long time, have begun performing. They're going to be our opening act at 7 p.m. I hope you'll join us. Check out what studying at Bats can lead to, what it can do. Think about signing up for a class. But at the very least, if you've got the bandwidth and you want to join us, we'd love to see you at the show. There's going to be a talk back afterwards, as always, and we hope you'll be there. Thank you. And our love goes out to you in solidarity and struggle and love, positivity and joy. And starting today. Thanks.